Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. And I want to talk to you about the Milky Way galaxy and the cosmic void that is reportedly around it. That's an area that has a lower matter density than other similar areas observed in distant space, interstellar space. Astronomers are reporting, and I'll include the link in the description below, that a lower density, a peculiar lower density around the Milky Way has been detected. And what I want to mention in this video is that people, including astronomers, appear to be misunderstanding the way matter behaves in the universe. And I have an idea to explain this. It's just an idea, it's just a theory. Obviously, I have no proof. I can't fly up and verify it myself, but there seems to be some misconception regarding space-time as far as what you see elsewhere versus what you see much closer to our home planet and our home galaxy. I think that astronomers are failing to incorporate the understanding that matter evolves, and we know this because of the structure that emerges as it evolves, such as the spiral arms of a galaxy, for example. And it would make sense that local observations, such as those within 2 billion light years, which is the size of space that we're referring to around the Milky Way galaxy, would look different than things that are, hundreds or thousands or millions of billions of light years away, which is the other stuff you see out there. It's much, much farther away. So just as a reminder, you're peering back in time, not just in a small way, but in a very, very significant and large way. The farther you look out into space, because of how long it takes light to travel those vast distances, light doesn't really go that fast in terms of cosmic space. It takes a very, very long time, 2 billion years, just to travel across our galaxy from one end to the other. So that gives you a little bit of perspective. So when you're looking at space between galaxies elsewhere, you're peering very, very far back into time in a very literal sense, because uh, at the time you're seeing that interstellar space, it has not condensed yet. It has not become the things that we see more locally, like in our galaxy, where everything is much more organized and condensed. You have spiral arms and many, many more stars and planets, presumably. In the primordial universe, everything was much more spread out. There was a greater temperature. There was a greater ambience of matter, and it hadn't condensed. Is really the answer. It's that simple. So they're failing to understand this. They're saying, well, locally it looks much less densely populated. Yes, it would, because our understanding is that gravity pulls things together over time. That's what happens. Orbits deteriorate, and stars form, galaxies form, and it continues on this way, presumably until galaxies themselves fly apart from each other and also at the same time condense towards each other within. That is to say, we are inside the Milky Way galaxy, condensing towards the center of the Milky Way galaxy, but the galaxy itself is flying away in general from other galaxies. So I've mentioned in other videos how the universe is both expanding and contracting, which is it's difficult for people to understand. It's not a contradiction, but it's a complex thing where you have a fall off point outside of galaxies where the gravity isn't keep pulling the galaxies towards each other. They're flying away from each other because there's an exponential fall off of the force of gravity. But within that perimeter, within that radius, you have a condensation where things are actually pulling towards each other. So it's a kind of a tipping point where inside the galaxy things are going towards each other, and outside the galaxy perimeter, the galaxies themselves are flying apart. So anyway, that should explain it. So it has to do with looking back in time as you look across the billions and trillions of light years at the past, and compared to what you see more locally, which is much more recent. So hopefully that makes sense. Check out the link. It's interesting. If you like, reach out with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.